living in an era where it's never been easier to be an entrepreneur, never been easier to make money. 20, 25, 30 years ago, if you were fed up with corporate America, if you didn't want to work for someone else, someone who didn't appreciate you, you had to have a great idea and the capital to get it started. Today, you can invest a few $100s in a microphone and a camera, start your own YouTube channel or TikTok account. That doesn't mean it's easy to make this a career. There's a lot of thinking, there's a lot of work and creativity that goes into these 12 to 15 minute videos. There's also, to be honest with you, there's also a little bit of luck involved. I wish I could remember where I heard this stat. It might have been in one of Patrick Bet-David's videos, but only 3% of YouTube channels generate $12,000 or more per year, which means if you want to make this a career, you got to find a way to get into the top 1%. Just like with anything else, there is a right way to go about doing this, then there's the wrong way. We go after a lot of people here on the channel. We expose propaganda in the mainstream media. We call out people like Dawn Staley or Jamel Hill for being professional race baiters. I'm sure at times I've crossed the lines of decency, but I do my best to not make things personal. I'm not lurking outside of Jamel Hill's house looking to expose her home address on social media. I don't attack her husband or her family. When going after Jamel Hill, Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, the New York Times, whatever the fuck, I'm attacking their actions and their words. Now sure, we joke around making fun of them, pretending Stephen A's down with the butt bongo, but you guys are smart enough to determine fact from fiction. You're smart enough to separate the satire from the factual information. I have never come on here and just made shit up. I've never created propaganda so it would fit my narrative. Hell, I don't need to make shit up. There's so much propaganda throughout the media, they do my job for me. Now, you can choose to do this the right way or the wrong way. There are a lot of people looking to build themselves up, looking to build their own brand by attempting to destroy someone else through falsehoods. When they're called on their bullshit, they twist the story where instead of being the perpetrator, they turn themselves into the victim. Most people who choose this path are doing so for a reason. They lack the talent to make it the right way. Prime example of this, Taylor Lorenz. There are very few people that I classify as pure evil. We make fun of Shay Sharp here on the channel all the time. I don't think Shannon Sharp's a bad dude. Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo, Brian Stelter, Leah Thomas, Maria Taylor. I don't think these are bad people. Just because they're infected with the woke fungus doesn't make them evil. Most of them are just highly paid parrots. They're given a salary to spread filthy propaganda. You could make the case they don't have personal morals and values, but it doesn't make them evil. But there are a select few who I believe personify evil. The wicked wig of the woke, Joy Reid. The vile virgin, Keith Olbermann. And coming in at number 3 on the list, Taylor Lorenz. Taylor Lorenz, she is the classic case of someone who throws the rock, then hides their hand. Remember the kid in school who was constantly starting shit, constantly aggravating someone when the inevitable happens and someone kicked his ass? He was the first to run to the principal. That's Taylor Lorenz. This woman, she has been on my radar for about a year now. I still cannot figure out why Taylor Lorenz has a job in the mainstream media. I have yet to witness one article or one video Taylor Lorenz has posted that proves she has a modicum of talent. Her only talent is baselessly attacking people, making shit up about them, then pretending to be the victim. Back in June, she posted the following video on TikTok. It has music playing in the background. I hope this makes it through the copyright system because I really want you to see this. It proves how utterly delusional this woman is. Hopefully this does not get removed from this video, but watch for yourself.
Okay, I don't know if Media TikTok exists yet, but I have something to say. So I'm a tech reporter at the Washington Post. I cover online content creators, influencers, internet stuff, and all that. And I just have this beef lately with media reporters. This is no hate to all the really great media reporters out there at the New York Times, Washington Post, elsewhere. Tons of people do great media reporting. That's not who I'm talking about. There's a certain class of media reporters that literally just sits on Twitter all day long and looks for spicy tweets from media people and writes about it. And then they make these manufactured controversies for right-wing lunatics and other media people who are the only people that read this kind of garbage. And it's just so lazy, and it's just so disappointing as well. As somebody that covers the new media, aka content creators, which have 10 times more influence than a lot of legacy media brands, I just feel like if you call yourself a media reporter, you should be reporting on that stuff. Let's talk about how the media actually works. Instead, these people just write about the most niche media Twitter bullshit, and it drives me crazy.
Oh, these fake media reporters, they make these manufactured controversies for right-wing lunatics. They're so lazy. Why don't these bums do actual reporting like I do? Are you out of your fucking mind? Where do I even begin? Taylor Lorenz has been busted on so many occasions publishing propaganda and outright lies, it's hard to know where to start. What about the time she claimed to be relentlessly attacked by an editor at the Drudge Report? Back in May, she told her lonely male followers on Twitter, "An editor at the Drudge Report threatened me. He said he would ruin my career. I'm so scared. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have all these lonely men buying my bottled farts on OnlyFans." Matt Drudge, owner of the Drudge Report, he contacted her personally, confirming none of his people ever contacted her. Once Taylor Lorenz was caught in this lie, she dug through her Louis Vuitton purse looking for her woke Bible. Fuck, he caught me. Oak Tree, please guide me. How do I get out of this? It's okay, Tay-Tay. Just tell them you were joking around. Yeah. Taylor Lorenz claimed it was all a big joke. April Fools! Except it was fucking May. 1 month later, she published a hit piece on several YouTubers who had made it big while covering the Johnny Depp-Amber Heard trial. When the article was originally published, Taylor Lorenz claimed to have reached out to these YouTubers for comment but never heard back from them. There was just one small problem. She never contacted them. Once these guys went public and defended themselves, Taylor Lorenz blamed her editors. It was all my editor's fault. Nothing is ever my fault. I'm a woke woman. I personify elegance and journalistic integrity. Taylor Lorenz likes to claim that platforms like YouTube and other social media outlets are dangerous webs of misinformation run by evil white men. But for some reason, she doesn't seem to have an issue with TikTok, a platform with deep ties to the Chinese government. A fun fact here, Taylor Lorenz has over 500,000 subscribers on TikTok. She has well over 1 million followers across all social media platforms. She is deeply entrenched and promoted in the mainstream media. And somehow, this dumbass right here gets more views than she does. Both of those incidents I outlined happened after she exposed the home address behind the creator of Libs of TikTok. Now, we have covered that story extensively here on the channel, so I'm not going to go into it again. But in the span of 90 days, Taylor Lorenz violated journalistic standards, not once, not twice, but 3 times. You could make the case that she should have been fired by now by the Washington Post. My question is, why was she ever hired to begin with? How did she get this job? A media outlet named Spectator World just published an extensive history on the career of Taylor Lorenz. Turns out, she was creating myths and fantasies about people before she was hired by the Washington Post. August 2020, while she was working for the New York Times, Taylor Lorenz published a hit piece on Aradhna Jacob. Jacob is a talent agent who signs and promotes social media influencers. Taylor Lorenz published numerous unsubstantiated allegations against her. She doesn't pay her influencers. Also, I received reliable information from an anonymous source. He's the third cousin of a friend of a friend of a friend of Aradhna Jacob, that she leaked nude photos of one of her clients. It later came out through email evidence that Taylor Lorenz knew these claims and allegations were false, but published them anyway. This fucking woman tried to destroy the business, the livelihood of another woman, just so she had a juicy article to publish, just so she could gain her own clout. When a media outlet named Business of Business published an interview of Jacob defending herself and proving these claims to be false, basically giving the public the true side of the story, Taylor Lorenz attacked the editor from Business of Business. Oh, the editor is a man. This is a classic case of toxic masculinity. He doesn't like to see a powerful woman like me succeed in the mainstream media. Anytime Taylor Lorenz is called on her bullshit, she does one of two things. Sometimes she does both. Just days before she exposed the home address behind the creator of Libs of TikTok, she victimized herself in an interview with MSNBC.
I've had to remove every single social tie. I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying.
Now, she either does that where she plays the sympathy card. Men don't like to see a woman cry. I'll use these fake tears to garner sympathy. Or she incites her lonely male followers on social media to relentlessly attack her target. I go back to the same question. How does this woman have a job in the mainstream media? If this were a man of any race, white, black, Hispanic, doesn't matter. If a male journalist had been a proven bullshitter like Taylor Lorenz, would he still have a job in the media? For some reason, Taylor Lorenz is given a pass. Why? Well, Casey, maybe the Washington Post is afraid to fire her. They're afraid of the backlash. I would buy into that shit sandwich if they hadn't hired her to begin with. When they hired Taylor Lorenz, she was already proven to be a clout chaser. She was already proven to be full of shit. Now, this is just speculation on my part. I think Taylor Lorenz is doing the job she was hired to do. She brings a lot of attention to the Washington Post. Most of the attention is negative, but do you think they care? This woman's made a career based on smoke and mirrors. She has masked her lack of talent by creating myths about other people. The thing is, this can only work for so long. It's not sustainable. Without credibility, you are nothing in this business. Hell, without credibility, you're nothing in any business. Taylor Lorenz has no credibility. If I had to guess, it's the reason her TikTok channel, which used to draw hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of views, is now struggling to draw 10,000. Smoke and mirrors can only last for so long. Eventually, you got to have talent. You have to provide substance, which is something Taylor Lorenz is lacking. Well, let me know what you think. Taylor Lorenz attacks members of the media who have the audacity to call her on her bullshit. With no credibility, how long can she maintain relevance? You know what? I guess you could make the case with the state of the mainstream media. Taylor Lorenz fits right in. I don't know. You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Hit the like button for me if you're not already subscribed. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can contact me by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.